Hello student, my name is Rohit Kumar. I am social science teacher from Maple Academy Devan. Student, today we are discussing about the chapter number 3, India, One Land, Many Names in History. Now, India is surrounded by natural boundaries like the mountains and seas to the north and the tall Himalayas and protected the land. On the east or west and south, India is surrounded by the water. The Arabian Sea lies to the west and the Bay of Bengal to the east and Indian Ocean to the south. The natural features have been shaped live lives of peoples in India and help the connect the countries and other part of the world for thousands of years. Now, this map show the India and its natural boundaries. And but the India we know that today it's a fixed border and states. It did not exist in the past long ago. Now this region was made up of many small kingdoms, and these kingdoms often grew larger or smaller as the king won or lost battles, and their borders were constantly shifting. Their entire region, which included the modern day India and some of its neighbor is now the Indian subcontinent. In the past, people gave the different name of this ancient land called the Bharata, or other referred to as the Jammudipa, and some has used the name of its the Hindustan. And today we mainly call it India. And each name tell a story about the country rich and colorful history. Now, India is surrounded by a natural boundary like the mountain and a sea. To the north and all the Himalayas protect the land. On the east and west and south surrounded by the water. And how our land got its names. Now, Sapt Sindhu. The Rig Veda is the earliest literary composition of the India. It has hymns, religious songs or poems tell us about the life long ago. One of the first mentions of a place in the India subcontinent is found in this text. It is about the Sub Sindhu, which means the land of seven rivers. Now, these are the name of the land of seven rivers were Sindhu, now called Indus, Sturdy, now called Satluj, and Prusni or Iravati, now called Ravi, Ashikni, now called Senab, and Vitasta, now called Jhelum, Vipasa, now called Bias, and Saraswati, a river that dried up long ago. Now this map show the this map show the all these rivers. And now Bharatvarsha, long ago, a Vedic tribe called the Bharatvarsha ruled over a large part of the Indian subcontinent. The land that ruled was called the Bharatvarsha, which means the land of the Bharatas. The Bharatas were ancestor of the Kurus, and Kurus and Pandavas from the ancient India epic Mahabharat belong to the Kuru dynasty. An epic, a long poem about the adventure, heroic deeds, a great person, or a group of people. The term Bharata does not appear in the early South Indian culture, in Indian literature, but even then, there were the awareness of the India as a land within the which places, kingdoms, groups shared various culture elements. The inscription of the Ashokas, an ancient Indian king ruling from the northern India, and mentioned the Chera, Chola, and Pandya dynasty of the South India. This dynasty dream of ruling the land and the Himalayas in the north to the southern tip of the India. Now, Kanyakumari, this reflect an early understanding of the India as one land. Now today, both India and Bharata are officially name of our country, and the Indian constitutions begins with the word the India, that is the Bharata, that shall be a union of the state. This show the both the names India, Bharata are the important part of our identity and history. Now Mahabharata mentioned the lands conquered by the five Pandavas, brothers Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjun, Nakul, and Sadev. Many of these still exist today, and with the different names. Shakala, now Sialkot in Pakistan, and Prayag Jyotisha now is now Assam, and Anartha is now region the around the Dwarka in the Gujarat, India, and Kashmira is now the valley of the Kashmir. Gandhaki is now the part of the Nepal, and Sushma is now the part of the West Bengal. Karnataka Karnataka is known as the Karnataka and Dravida is known as the part of the Tamil Nadu. Now the Jammu Deep, long ago, people in India had facing the way of the imaging the world. They believed it was made up of the seven huge island continents and around in a circle, one inside the other. An island continent is a massive piece of the land surrounded by the water, and each island continent was surrounded by an ocean. And the center of this continent as was a tall golden mountain called the Mount Meru, which was believed was very special. This innermost and most important, this continent was called Jammu Deep. Now the bunch of the jamus growing on a tree, this picture shows, and the word Jammu Deep come from the two smaller words, two smaller words. Jambu, the refer to the jamun, a berry found all over the India, and the Dvipa means island. And Jammu Deep is mentioned in many ancient Indian texts. It appeared the Mahabharata and some Puran like the Markandeya Puran and the Vayu Puran. Ashoka, an important ruler of the ancient India, used the word Jammudipa in his inscription to describe the entire Indian subcontinent. And people believe the Jammudipa was divided into the zone, and each zone was called the Varsha. The southernmost zone of the Jammudipa was known as Bharatvarsha, and this was a land of stretching the Himalayas in the north to the Kanyakumari in the south. Now, names derived from the foreign usage. Hindustan around the 6th century BC, a Persian emperor conquered the region near the river Indus, and which Indians called then the Sindhu. The Persian, the ancient people of the modern day Iran, in their languages, the Persian changed the Sindhu to Hindu and Hind. These names were used to describe the people that the land near the river Sindhu, and all Persian religious text. The Zen Avesta used the name of the Hipta Hindu for the Sapta Sindhu region. At the time, Hindu was a geographical term. It referred the people living near the river Sindhu and no connection to the religion. Later, the name Hindu led to the word Hindustan, which means the land of the Hindus. It comes from the two words Hindu, the Persian version of the Sindhu, and the Stan, which means the land or a place. Together, it means the land of the people beyond the Sindhu River. This name has been a part of the Indian identity for many centuries, and in ancient in times, Hindustan referred to the region of the sub-Sindhu in the northern west and part of the Indian subcontinent. Later, the name was used as a part of the northern India, and today Hindustan is sometimes used to describe the whole of India. Now the conclusion: India has been known the many names throughout its long history, and foreign travelers also gave the Indian different names, and each name tell us the story about the Indian geography, culture, and history. Together, these names now show how India has been understood, celebrate its people, and by those from farthest, far away places for centuries. Now, this is all about the thank you. This is all about the chapter number 3, India, One Land, Many Names in History.